Hey there, everyone. Hey, how you doing? Happy Friday. Hope you are doing well today. While we are waiting on folks to join, be sure to go to coopedup.com. That is my website where I just post stuff randomly. You can sign up to get emails from me there, all that business. If you are on other platforms, Instagram, for example, I'm Cooped Up is my handle there. Would love a follow. I post some different content there sometimes. Wherever you are watching or listening, be sure to click the bell to get notified when I go live or post other content. And last but not least, if you ever want to text me or get texts from me, send me a text to this number, 214-949-8599. I'm going to be sending out some updates about Amazon Prime Day deals. That's coming up in about 10 days. I think the 21st, 22nd, something like that. So be sure to sign up there. Hey, Mama. Good to see you. So, sorry I missed yesterday. I was just, this week has been a real beatdown. Just exhausting. A lot of shit happening. Just craziness. I'm a little short-staffed at work, all that kind of stuff. And then add the heat and the allergies to the mix, and I just felt poopy yesterday. So actually, yesterday morning, I got the kids. I woke up, felt great, wonderful, magnificent. Got dressed, took a shower, got dressed, took the kids to school. The minute I walked outside, got in my car, and then came back, it was like, ugh. And then I had to lay down for a little bit. The allergies were just that bad. So and it never got better. But today was a new day. Today was not as bad. I felt better today. Kerrie and I actually had a 2-hour lunch today at Restoration Hardware's new restaurant here. So that was good stuff. I'll tell you all about that in a moment. So anyway, what was I going to talk about today? Because, when I have these long lunches, sometimes I don't have a ton of time to prepare. So lunch with Kerrie. So here in Dallas, y'all know what Restoration Hardware is. That is this. It used to be like a trinket store and stuff like that. And then it became like a hardcore high-end furniture store. Well, now in certain markets, they're building these brand new like prototype stores. I don't know if prototype's the right word, but these like magnificent stores that have restaurants on the roofs. Some of them have hotels in them. This one does not. It was supposed to, but I don't think it does in Dallas. And so we had lunch there, and it's like the hottest ticket in town in Dallas right now. Gorgeous. It's like an atrium. Like the whole thing is just like, it's like a big greenhouse that you're in. To somehow manage to not make it 1,000,000 degrees. It has these olive trees inside it, lots of topiaries and a fountain and all that kind of stuff. It's great. You have to make reservations well in advance, though, or just snag one. I grabbed one. We were struggling to get a reservation for it for lunch today. And then I had on Open Table, you can set an alert to let you know when stuff becomes open on a certain date between a certain time and a certain time. And that is what I did. So I snagged the reservation, I think on Tuesday or Wednesday of this week. And so we went. It was fantastic. I am so full. I had to take some Tums about 30 minutes ago because I just need, and I'd walk around the block, but it's 1,047 degrees outside and the humidity is the same. So lunch was delicious, but very, very expensive. For the two of us, we split it, and it was $150 each for lunch. I kid you not. So I had 2 glasses of Sancerre. She had 2 Bellinis. We had crispy artichokes, with aioli, which were fantastic. I'm going to figure out how to do that in the air fryer. I asked the waitress if she could kind of give me the lowdown on how they made it, and I got that. And then we had also for an appetizer a cheese and prosciutto board, which was fantastic. There was a kind of cheese in it that I had not heard of. It was kind of like a brie, but it was triple creamed and softer. Belize, something, Beyonce, I don't know, something like that. But they had that, and you smeared it on toast with some strawberry jelly, or strawberry jam rather, and you could put the prosciutto on that. Oh, it was so good. And I was actually getting pretty full at that point, but decided to push on. And instead of having a full-on entree, they have steaks and burgers and beautiful sandwiches. The avocado toast looked insane that they had. Someone else had it. The truffle fries, which I couldn't pass those up. We had an order of truffle fries. And then I had an arugula salad. I love arugula with salmon on the side or with it. That was fantastic. But that was like a $30 salad right there. So very, very expensive lunch. But if you're wanting to splurge, and it's a great place, a lot of kind of seeing, be seen. It was really, really beautiful. Actually, it's probably one of the prettiest restaurants I've been in for lunch in Dallas in a very long time. There's and that's hard to beat in Dallas. I mean, it's a very competitive restaurant market. So I hope they do well. I wonder at dinner if it's a totally different experience. Have any of y'all been to dinner there? But there were a couple of things that were just kind of weird. Like also, one of which was we got there. We had a 12 o'clock reservation. I think we got there at like 11:52, something like that. I mean, just barely before our time. Walk up, plenty of seating, but the waitress says, we wait until the reservation time to seat people. I was like, okay. So they made us just stand there. And we could have gone downstairs, I guess. But they made us just stand there for 8 fucking minutes watching the empty restaurant because it wasn't full at that time. It did get full, but at that time it was not. Watching the empty restaurant. Like, what's up with that? I could have had our money a lot sooner. We both kind of laughed about that. It gave us time to take some selfies and pictures of the restaurant, though. It was really, really, really a beautiful restaurant. Another thing that was unusual is that the chairs that we were sitting in were on casters, so they had wheels on them, which is kind of hard to get into and even more unusual to get out of. They actually warn you when you sit down. They're like they hold the chair while you're sitting in it so that it doesn't slide out from under you. But they were gorgeous. It's all like the Restoration Hardware furniture and all that kind of stuff. Really, really pretty. For those who just joined, I'm talking about Kerrie and I had a multi-hour, multi-drink lunch today at the new Restoration RH. If you search for it in Open Table, it's under RH. They don't call it Restoration Hardware there. Another interesting thing I noticed, and I have been noticing this the last week or so, but I noticed it in particular today. A lot of places are not requiring all of their staffs to wear masks anymore. It's only people who have not been fully vaccinated don't have to work. Chipotle was the same the other day. Tom Thumb has the same rule, although everyone at Tom Thumb is wearing it, even the customers. I've literally only been the only person not wearing a mask. So y'all are very quiet today. Are y'all here commenting? I don't see any comments. Hopefully you are. But so we get there, and the hostess, there's two hostesses. One of them is wearing a mask and one of them is not. And I am totally fine with not wearing a mask if you are, hey, James, if you are vaccinated, right? Like those are the rules, all that kind of stuff. And then like the wait staff, like our waitress was not wearing a mask, but then I noticed that one of the waiters next to us was. So, and I'm not judging. This is not from a place of judgment. This is more of a place of like deconstructing what's happening. Like, do you think that means that of those two hostesses, that one of them is vaccinated or lying, but probably vaccinated, and the other one is not? Or do you think she's being more cautious? Or do you think they're doing it as a mix so that people feel comfortable either way? Like Kerrie and I were talking about that. And like our waitress was not wearing a mask, but another waiter was. Does that mean that waiter is not vaccinated? And I wonder how it doesn't bother me because I know the vaccine is protecting me also. So I'm not overly concerned about it. But yeah, I'm just curious about that. I did hear on the radio on the way to, I was on NPR on the way to getting lunch, that states are starting to get creative about getting people to get vaccines because they've pretty much run out of people who actively want it unless they are just becoming eligible, like children, for example. But, and like Mason and Claire Claire got her second shot on Saturday. Mason got his first. So Claire will be fully vaccinated as of a week from tomorrow. And then Mason will have another round. But that states are having trouble finding people who want to get the vaccine now. And so they're getting creative. Like, I think it was Ohio, they're giving away $5 million prizes a week to people who got vaccinated that week. So, and it's like a lottery. And I saw that in California, they're doing the same thing. And then there was some state that has allowed there's bars and stuff that are also like giving away stuff. You saw Krispy Kreme. If you showed up with your vaccine card, you got free donuts. I don't know if that's still going on or not. But the other thing is in states where marijuana is legal, they're now allowing, Mom, don't get in your car. They're now allowing people who show up with a vaccination card to get a free joint. I was like, and they were all laughing on the show about it. It's like, wow, that's the world we live in. You can get some free marijuana in exchange for getting vaccinated. That's creative. Anyway, Brooke says that her daughter thinks anyone not wearing a mask is a Republican. I can assure her that is not the case, because I am not, and I don't wear my mask anywhere anymore. Unless the door says masks are required, I do respect that, and I do wear them there. But like, unless it says required, I'm not wearing one because I don't need to. All the science is saying that. Mom's hitting the road. Bye. It did not say which state, Mom. So don't drive to Colorado. I don't know if that's where it was or not. Actually, it did say, I just don't remember what state it was. So anyway, actually, Brooke, since Brooke is here, you that sounds bad. You sparked some creativity in my mind about another topic. So Brooke was telling me that she was noticing that some pride flags in the neighborhood are being flown upside down. And if that was a meaningful thing or not. And hopefully you don't mind me. I'm not calling you out here. I'm not going to throw you under any buses, I promise. And she was just curious. I guess I'm the gay that knows everything. And I'm okay with that. If that was intentional and if it meant something, because some people think that it means that it's sort of like hanging the American flag upside down. I don't think that that's the case. I don't think that people who are anti-gay are going to go to the extreme of buying a gay pride flag and then flying it on their house in hopes that people notice that it is hanging upside down. I think that's too many steps for someone like that. But it got me to thinking. I was like, I'm not sure I know which way to hang it. Like, what color is supposed to be on top? I would need to Google that shit. So I did. And the dark colors, the purple and all that, are at the bottom. And the yellow and green and stuff are at the top. So in case you were wondering if your pride flag is hanging properly. And it depends. When it's hard to know also because there's two versions of the pride flag right now. There's the standard rainbow one that's just got the Roy G. Biv purple or purple, blue, whatever color. And then there's a newer updated one that also has like a triangle that kind of cuts into the corner or from one side. And that's the side you hang it from, by the way. And that has got the colors for transgender and our brothers and sisters of color on there. But it's hard to know because I guess it looks the same both ways. And unless you know, that's no. So anyway, I don't know how you let people know about that, though. I mean, I think that people would want to know, but I just don't think that. I'm of the opinion where I'm going to offer people grace and I'm going to go with the intention, not necessarily the action. So if they intended to hang the pride flag, which I think is the case, especially in this part of Dallas, super liberal part of Dallas, I do think that they meant it as a sign of support. And they're probably homosexuals themselves, honestly. I don't even have a pride flag on my house, and not intentionally. We always just keep an American flag going up front, and I just haven't thought of it. So, let's see. James is saying, at first when I started not wearing a mask, I thought that people would assume I was Republican. I've heard that a lot. That's one of those things where I am very, very fortunate that I literally don't care what other people think about me that much. I mean, I want you to think I'm funny and I want you to think I'm interesting and smart and gorgeous. But and thin would be nice, although the mirror contradicts that these days. But this was a topic I wrote down. In the car on the way there was a song, and I don't always listen to lyrics of songs. I think most people don't, but in this case, I was listening to the lyrics of the song, and it was a song called something like "Magazines Telling Me Who I Need to Be," and and I need to stop comparing myself to others and all that. And I was thinking about that. I am very fortunate that I have never been one of those people. Like, I've never looked at a magazine. I mean, body image, maybe. Like, I don't necessarily want six-pack abs, but I would like more of an actual dad bod instead of a fat dad bod. But other than that, like, for fashion and trips and all that stuff, like, I look at magazines as inspiration, aspiration, all that kind of stuff, entertainment. And I don't really think like, that's how I need to be. But I guess a lot of people do. And I guess I need to figure that out, because I think I've got some emerging teenagers who are going to probably be experiencing that soon. But I don't know if my mama or my dad, or probably not my dad. My dad's a quiet type, like, but my mom or my grandfather or my grandmother, who definitely does not care what anybody thinks, instilled that in me. And I don't even know if that's a conversation that you have. Like, how'd you do that? So that was a heavy topic. I didn't mean that to be. Okay, speaking of, though, jumping on the bandwagon and stuff, have you seen these artificial AI renderings of, I'm going to show you here, of where you can put your photos in? So that is what this thing says I look like if I were a cartoon royalty, a cartoon prince, I think is what the setting was for that. I don't hate it. What do y'all think about that? And then this is what it said if I was a cartoon child. And this is an app called Voila, the AI artist. It's a free app. You can get it. I got it in the App Store. You can pay for it also, but it's free. If you don't do, you have to just watch ads for it. So that is me as a cartoon child. That's cute. And then they have one, actually, I don't know if Michelle Condré is watching right now, but she's actually the one that inspired me to even do this, because I saw she did this one, which is like, they have a Renaissance paintings version of it where they do different. This is a 1900s or maybe 19th century painting. I don't see me in that one personally at all, aside from maybe the hair. Do y'all see me in that one? I do not see myself in that one. But this is the funniest one to me. So they do a caricature one too. I do not see myself at all in that. Do you? I think I look like Zach Braff, who is the actor from Scrubs. Do y'all remember that TV show? Or a televangelist, someone said. Okay, a televangelist. And then my sweet Mason. Our whole family. Look how cute he looks. Just like straight out of a Disney movie. So cute. And then beautiful Claire. Sweet. And then Todd, y'all are going to go. I would save the best for last. My handsome husband, Todd. My God, look how cute he looks. Oh, my goodness. I love him. I love him so much. My mom is saying no on the caricature, that it does not look like me. I agree. I am like, who is that? I mean, it's a nice looking person. I don't hate the way he looks. It's just not me at all. Claire was like, why does everyone else look so much better than me? I think she looks great. Anyway, I thought that was funny. So it's Voila. You can see it there at the bottom. Voila, the AI artist. Send me yours if you do them. That's funny. Diane is saying that I don't think people at Tom Thumb know you don't have to wear a mask. I didn't until you said something. So they have big signs at the front, but the signs, unless you actually read the sign, actually does look like it's got a big mask on it, and there's on both sides of the door, so it looks like they're double telling you. But if you actually read the sign, which that is an issue also in our neighborhood, because the signs are in English in our neighborhood, other than the part where I live, but around us is predominantly Spanish speaking. It says all, what does it say? All unvaccinated customers are required to wear masks or something like that. Like it's specifically aimed at unvaccinated folks. But I think most people aren't reading the sign, but I did. But literally, I am the only one, and I'm sure I am getting all kinds of crazy looks from people for that. What else? This is an inside weekend. It's going to be hot. It's the humidity. It's crazy, right? So we are going to be doing relaxing, which we don't do very well, actually. Probably, I think this is a pantry clean out weekend because our pantry has gotten insane. And I've showed y'all before when I gave y'all a tour of the house. Our walk-in pantry is the size of like a bedroom. And it's just, when you have that much space, there's just no discipline whatsoever required. Sorry. It is so swampy, even in this room right now, that my watch is sticking to my wrist. And then also, we have to finish our taxes this weekend. Taxes, if you were in Texas, because of the winter blizzard that we had in February, they extended the tax deadline for Texans to June 15th. I don't know for other people, but I know for Texans for sure, it was extended to June 15th, which is what, Tuesday, Wednesday? So we're finishing ours right now. At this point, I owe like $15,000. Although it's not that bad. I actually have it. I just didn't. So the perfect tax return is $0 back, $0 paid. It means you did not give a free loan to the government and you paid exactly the right amount. I would rather underpay during the year and have to pay, but I save it up. I have a system for saving it up. But we will see. Somehow, when we put all of our information together, we do TurboTax. Our taxes aren't that complicated. And we used to have a guy, but it was like $1,000 to get our taxes done. And basically, my bookkeeping service that I do use for that provides a report, and it just tells you, put this in the supply line, put this in that line, put this, and everything else is just pretty standard issue. So I'd rather buy a couple pair of nice shoes for that. It takes a few hours, but we always get the information in, and somehow it is always my fault. My beloved husband, it's always my fault that our taxes are so high. It's because I'm self-employed. It's hard to gauge what you're doing when you're self-employed. And then, do you have any questions? I'm running low on topics. I always say that, though. I know. Let me see if there's anything else there. I heard today that Hacks, so that show on HBO Max with Jean Smart. She played Charlene on Designing Women, if you'll remember. Brilliant actress. She announced, I guess this morning, maybe late yesterday, that show has been renewed for season 2. It is so good. It is about not washed up is not the right word, but tenured, longtime stand-up comedian, has a residency that she's had forever in Las Vegas. Her stuff is kind of stale. Her jokes are kind of like of a different time. And so they hired this like millennial to come in and help her with jokes and joke writing, and then all of the kind of the butting heads that those two have. Fantastic show. Hilarious. So good. So now that we know it's going to be in season 2, if you were not sure whether to invest in it, it's time. You can do that. And then Phyllis is saying that Mayor of Easttown, Easttown is also so good. So I've been hearing that, and I have been not pursuing that because I thought it was a British show. Like, I thought she was a British person on it because Kate Winslet is in it also and all of that. And I do not really like the British crime shows like Todd, because it's about a small town. And I thought Easttown was like a British place, and it looked kind of drizzly and stuff. And with Kate Winslet being the main person and all of that, I thought it was one of these British. Todd loves the British crime shows. I'm just not into them. I do not know why. I don't like period stuff either, and I know that's not the same thing. But so Downton Abbey, though, I did love Downton Abbey. But so they, I finally watched the trailer, and I'm like, all these people are talking American. I know that's not a language, but the accent. And then Jean Smart looks so good. Gene Smart makes the show. I cannot wait. And Trish is saying, agree totally with Love and Mayor. So it's on the list now. I don't watch a lot of television personally. When I do, it's usually Fixer Upper or Hometown Takeover. I love me an HGTV show. I love anything with Chip and Joanna in it. The Barefoot Contessa, CBS Sunday Morning, Jane Pauley, love her. Yes, I'm an old woman. It is true. But I will add that to, I need to get through Hacks first, and then I will go to that. And then we constantly watch an episode of Schitt's Creek. I mean, even we've been through the season or the show like 4 times, and we put at least one episode of that on every night, because that is such a fantastic show. We've been watching it just constantly, like literally start over, start again. Like we're on 4 or 5 rounds. And Trisha's saying, and Lupine, is that a show on there? I have not been tuning in, but have you commented on Chrissy Teigen and her Twitter mess? I have not commented on that. And I will tell you why. I don't love her. Like, I have never been I don't know why she's so famous. I love her husband. His voice like melts me. Like, I'm like, Take Me Now, John Legend, love him. But, and I could listen to his albums nonstop. Her, on the other hand, I mean, I feel horrible about what happened with her baby and losing her baby. I read about that. I just feel horrible about that for her. No one should go through that. But that aside, she's just not a nice person, I don't think. And I know that that's what the controversy is. People are starting to call her out for being a bully, going too far on things, and all of that. But first of all, I don't like Twitter. I don't think Twitter is a helpful tool for our world. I do not like it at all. It's just a bunch of people yelling at each other, and everyone's trying to one-up each other and all that kind of stuff. So I don't get into that, because I don't generally read comments on things, because people just get too, especially if they've been getting some drink on. But then Chrissy Teigen, she's so fucking self-righteous. I'm like, why are you the expert on everything? So she's not a favorite of mine, although her cookbook is great. Her she has like a comfort food cookbook or something. She has a specific recipe, by the way. Kerrie turned me onto it. Ramen dump and done salad. It sounds gross, but it is fantastic. And if you want to be the star of any potluck or party, make ramen dump and done salad. You have to make it the day before, because it needs to kind of marinate for a while. But it is fantastic. Love it. But Phyllis is saying, I have mixed feelings on her too. And yes, she can be mean. That's my thing. I think it just gets too sharp. Like, that's where I don't like that we're losing civility and civil conversations. And I think that social media generally, but Twitter specifically, really, really, like, that's the MO on there. So if I talk shit about something, I'm pretty much talking shit about it in a funny way or smart way, not just to try to get points, And I try not to be mean. Like, I just don't like mean. Like, that's a line. Even if I totally disagree with you, I will take your side over the mean person's side, because I just don't like mean. So there's that. Was that all of it? I think that was the controversy, right? Is that I was reading something about it this morning, that there's been a backlash, and that people are saying no, like, too much, too far, all that. Claire she watches this guy named Darman, I think, which has got it's like after school special kind of stuff, like, be nice, don't bully, what's on the inside is what matters more than on the outside, But there was a guy who made a video, another guy who's super famous, and usually people who watch Darman also watch this other guy. I don't remember his name, but he made a video where he was just straight up making fun of Darman yesterday, or released it yesterday, and lost like 1 million followers in one day. Because even Claire was like, I'm done with him. My 12-year-old, I'm done with him. He's too mean. You don't be mean to Darman. I thought that was funny. But even the kids get it. Twitter is toxic, but I've been bullied on Facebook too. Yeah, I think that just people, Well, so first of all, I have no problem blocking. Even if I know you, I have no problem blocking you if I do not like the vibe that you're giving off with me. I have no problem with that. Or if I see you and I'm like, ugh, even if we're actual friends in real life, I will turn you off. I will block you, unfollow you, whatever. And I don't understand people trying to win like arguments, like points, like just kind of the like that. Like I just like whose fucking mind ever got changed other than maybe y'all watching me about wearing a mask at Tom Thumb about anything that's said on social media. That's it's about awareness and stuff, I guess, or you can use it as an educational tool. But I don't think that if you're arguing with someone in the comments of like a New York Times article or something like that, so I just stay out of that. Another good rule, and I agree with this fully, Phyllis, is to punch up at people with more power than you. Never punch down. Yeah, it just makes you look like a jackass. So, anyway, should I end that on jackass in the show there that way? Let's see what else. Well, that's all I got today, and I hit time. I always do. If there's about a 20-second delay between the time the words come out of my mouth and y'all hear them. So if you have anything else you want to say, comment on whatever, put it in the comments, and I'll read it. I'm vamping right now, in case you didn't notice. But if there's nothing else, I'm gonna say bye. I love you. It's important to know you are loved. Love. That's the answer to everything, right? I love Jill Biden wearing that on the jacket at the G7. That she had a jacket on that said love, and she did not claim it was in direct contradiction to the I don't care to you jacket that a previous First Lady wore, but I think it sent that signal. So anyway, so more love, the better. I will see you on Monday. In the meantime, don't shoot yourself to death. Stay cool. It's hot. It's hard to do in Texas right now. And I will catch you on the flip side Monday at 4:30 for another episode of Cooped Up Live. Should I say? Talk to you later. Love y'all. Bye.